Hey y'all, hope everybody doing okay. This morning I want to go ahead and start my creation and my knowledge of this case. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And this video, like, that y'all basically, since I'm going to be talking about the 2023 Tesla Model 3, this is what I'm going to be talking about, and then I'm going to get into New Nations as on the same page I am with this Tesla. This Tesla is one of my evidence, and I'm curious about this very unique car. It's unique to me because I never own a Tesla. Can't own a Tesla. But this is a 23 Tesla. This has been one of my questionable. I've been so questionable about this car because I never seen a Tesla before. But we've been covering this for those who just joining. Thanks for joining. Make sure you get your make sure you subscribe and get your membership. This is a 2023 Tesla. Now, I believe if Dave have money. David have money. I'm not going to question that. David can afford this beautiful car. It's beautiful. It's a nice piece of evidence that is breaking the case. This is going to break the case for me. And I've been talking about this from day one. This Tesla got a lot going on, y'all. It's the overall camera system. So this car here is going to has taken its place in this case unless they knew where the camera was. It's one back here. It's one back here on the trunk in this car. This is a whole. This car is evidence, and my thing is, David was going out of the country. Who was driving this car? Who did he give authorization to drive his car while he was out of the country? He was traveling, y'all. He didn't use his car to travel. So that's something that we're going to get into in a few minutes. Now, another things that we're going to get into in the D4VDD case is, would he leave a nice car like this sitting on the street? And my answer to this, but I'm trying to get on his level. He's unique. He's a unique guy. I don't think he'll leave his car on the street, y'all, knowing he was going out the country. Would you? Would you? No, I wouldn't. By the way, the car wasn't found on his street. It was not too far from where his house was, but you can throw a rock. You could throw either something to hit it. So, so this is how I want to open up, y'all. Open up my content with questions. And the question is, who was driving D4VDD 2023 Tesla? Who did he give the authority to drive his Tesla? This is very important in the case. Okay? So that's the question I want to ask. Who did he authorize to drive his car while he was out of town? Now, I want to take y'all to August 2024 calendar. This is not new, but I'm saying this is what we discussed over here, weeks ago. We've been talking about this, August. I said, what happened here? I said the last 2 weeks of August. And then, since the body was decomposed, I took the calendar back. I took it, my mind started thinking decomposed. It took me back. I said, what happened in June and July? So I thought about the fireworks. I said, wait a minute, hold up. We had July. Nothing was going on in June. July, she was with David May. What happened in May? What happened in June? What happened in July? August, she would have been in school. September, she would have been in school. But they would have been out of school September on Labor Day. Her body was found around the 8th. The body was found on that Sunday. So I said, what happened Labor Day? There are cookouts, fireworks, parades. What was going on Labor Day? No, I said no. She didn't. She was already gone in September. The first week of September, she was already gone. She was dismissed. A little girl was dismissed. So I want to take my calendar back to August. Y'all, I think she was alive in August. Where did David leave her in August? Why she not on the concert? Because he's on tour right here. He's on tour. And if he loves her the way we trying to say, David wouldn't have did nothing to her. He would have took her. He was so in love with her. He would have took her on that road trip. But we did see a picture with a girl standing up there. I don't know who he was talking to, but I don't think it was her. I don't think it was her. Now, I don't feel like playing with the calendar, but why wasn't she on this trip with him? This is a minor. She's smart. Now let's go here. I want to react to News Nation, the young lady on here, because her mindset is so much like mine. That Tesla, a camera is evidence. You don't even need nobody that talk. She has some information about this Tesla just came out 3 hours ago. See, I'm not going to do like some of y'all. You get information from over here, but then you won't give me credit and say, let me get a shout out for Lanita that I found this video over here. But I mean, let's be nice, y'all. It's just, I guess, because retired educators, we share our stuff, so we collaborate together, so we don't find nothing, we don't get upset about stuff like that. But this Tesla raises a lot of questions to me. And we're going to dive into this video. Why is David Tesla, 23 Tesla, abandoned? Who moved David Carr? Who was authorized to David Carr? Check this out.
An investigator who specializes in missing persons, and he got his hands on the paper trail from that first ticket that went on the Tesla's windshield to the end of the line at the impound lot. And he learned that fed up neighbors called police about this car on August the 26th.
Stop. The neighbor. This is important, y'all, in the case. The neighbor called about the Tesla in August the 26th. Now we're going to go back here. The neighbor called in August the 26th. The 26th was on a Monday. If he called in about the Tesla in 26 on that Monday on the 26th, she was already dismissed. Pay attention, people. This is important. When they came and put a ticket on that car, she was already what? Dismissed. It's weird. Okay. Let's go back to the ticket. Okay.
An officer came by the very next day and left a ticket on the window. A second ticket was issued September 3rd.
So there you have it. You have the 27, I said the 26th, I apologize. August the 27th and September 3rd. And we know that, okay, let's go back to the calendar. August the 26th. I said the 27th, and I apologize. Was a Monday. August the 27th was a Tuesday. She's not even living. She's not alive. September the 3rd is when they got the second ticket. That was on a Labor Day, y'all. That 15-year-old girl wasn't alive. Here. This is going to be important. So now we can look at this as she wasn't alive in August. Well, at least she wasn't alive on August the 27th on that Tuesday. So that's going to push my thoughts back in July. It's going to push my thoughts back, okay? So she said on the 3rd, that's the second ticket on Labor Day, okay? Let's go to the ticket. Oh, excuse me, God. This is one of my videos I ain't covered yet with my people. Okay. So you got a first ticket. He's put on the ticket the accident and report what he sees on the ticket. The wheel of the ticket right here looked like something happened. Okay. That's on the left side. That's why he put an X right there. And then on the rear, only thing they did was gave them a warning about the car. A ticket. They'll put a ticket on your car because they don't know what's going on. Okay. So let's keep going.
And the car was finally towed September 5th, 3 days before it became...
Okay, what you say? Okay, let's go back, Andrew. Correct, Andrew. The reason why, Andrew, I went back in the 24 calendar is because this is when this happened, Andrew. Okay, this is when they found her in 2024 on these dates. Not this year. They found her last year. Okay, so that's why I'm going back. I went back to that date. Okay, Andrew. That's why I went there. Cause this is when she went missing. Okay, I hope I answered the question. I don't want to ignore you. I was just going by when she went missing. This is when they found her. Okay, let me go back here. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Something. Let me go back to something. Okay. Now I'm about to clear what David said. What Andrew just asked me. Okay, let's go to what Andrew just had me. Okay, now I'm gonna go to thank you, Andrew. Now I'm gonna go to the 25th is when that Andrew correct me. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, I'm gonna get off. I want to leave up my 24 camera because this is when it happened. Now I'm gonna go to my 26, 20, 2026 calendar. So y'all, I'm gonna take it down. Okay. So this is when this happened. The 24th, year 24th when it happened. The 25th is when they found the car. Let's go to August 2024. I'm glad. I don't mind y'all talking to me because I'm working alone by myself, okay? And it's hard when you're working by yourself. So I love my subscribers and my viewers, okay? Okay, let's go to the 25th calendar. Let's go to the 25th calendar when they found when they put the information on it. Let's go to the let's go to this is a 2025 calendar, year 25. Okay. Now let's go here. Oh Lord. I want to do that content right there so bad. Okay, so on August the 27th, 2025, that was on a Wednesday. Okay, they got their first ticket. Y'all, let me see, because I can't see y'all. Okay, let me see. Okay, now the 27th is when they got their first ticket on the 2025, right there, on a Wednesday, giving me the thought that she already on the live. Okay, they got their first ticket. Now, so we're going to say Wednesday. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Let me go back. Hold on, y'all. Okay. That was on a Wednesday. Let me go to September calendar. Oh, Lord. I can't wear glasses. Yeah, I wear glasses. Okay. Okay. We're going to go to September 2025. Okay? It's when they got the second ticket. And we're going to say that she said on Labor Day. Let's go to Labor Day, the 3rd, on that Wednesday. When they got the second ticket. The little girl not here with us. When they got the second ticket. Now, y'all. That first ticket was delivered at 2:26. The second ticket was delivered at 2:51. It's giving me the thought of and I want to thank the young man in my chat. So this is the year that the ticket was given. Ask yourself, who driving that car? Who's moving that car around? Who left in that house with who is left in D4VDD house? Who did he give authorization to move to even take the car out the driveway, put it on the street? That boy got sense enough to know not to do this. Now, I ain't taking up for him because I got a lot of questions about him. But whoever he left with his car, he wouldn't have never thought that nothing like this would happen, I don't think. Because he authorized them to, use the car for transportation because they didn't have transportation. So did he leave the car with Celeste? Celeste is the girl, 15-year-old, but it happened when she was 14. Okay. And if he left her, can she drive? Who is this person that he depended on while he was in another country? Leave a minor with somebody else. Okay, here we go.
And the car was finally towed September 5th, 3 days.
Okay. It was finally towed on the 5th of September. They got that ticket right there, that second ticket right there. And on the 5th, on that Friday, they towed that Tesla to the towing place, leaving the 8th when they smelled. So we know in September and during Labor Day that she wasn't what? She wasn't alive. So I'm going to leave those two calendars up. Okay? Because that body was found on the 8th.
It became a key piece of evidence in what's now being confirmed
That's your
as
evidence.
a homicide.
So that car, now, well, we've been talking about it for the longest. It's your key in this case. You don't need nobody else in this. Whoever has the authorization to that car is involved. So how y'all feel about David now? How do y'all feel about David? And David already, see, somebody lived David image in his video of Celeste. Which Celeste did he do on the stage? This happened way before somebody brought his story alive. Who did it? Did he do it? And I'm not gonna. He questionable. He is one of my he's evidence to me because he took that girl from her mama. He knew how old she was.
Fisher is the man behind that pro bono detective work, and he joins me now live. Steve, thanks so much for being on tonight. Tell me about the tow report that you were able to obtain and some of the information that you learned from the report.
So, it was first called in by a neighbor on the 26th. The only note that was on it was when they asked for any identifying information besides the license plate, they noted that there was a large dent in the back. And, I was curious that there wasn't an odor mentioned. Now, that doesn't absolutely mean that in the conversation.
Oh, now, something else about that car right there, y'all. That car had so much dirt, dust, dirt on that car from August 27th to September. I have a question. Did David ever call in about this car being missing? That's a question too. For David. I'm not trying to take up for him. I'm just saying, did he ever report this car stolen? Because y'all know about cars. Y'all know how when that dirt get on there and that dirt sticky, that means that it been sitting somewhere for a long time. August is not a long time from September. So that's something to think about too. Before we really blame David.
The agent, they didn't mention that and it just didn't get reported. But, in LA, a traffic officer has to come out at least 3 times before they can tow it throughout 3 different days. They have to chalk the tires, make sure it hasn't moved because it is legal to park on that street. So, as far as what was gathered from that, it was nothing regarding the smell or anything, but for it to get towed from that area, considering there is no parking restrictions, it had to be there quite a while, I think.
Now, y'all, hold up. Look at that. Look at that.
This week,
We're going to take a look at that
right here in Atlanta.
dirt built up on that car. Now, I don't like that. I don't like all that dirt built up on that car. Look at that dirt, y'all. Look at the car. This seemed like a girl, and I don't know why I think it's a girl involved with this too, either a girl or either a transgender, either a guy in it, it's a gender-based thing. Because I don't know, but I don't know. It give me that sense, y'all, because a man wouldn't have did this. A guy wouldn't just take the car next street over. They are so upset with David. David don't want their attention no more. He don't want their love. They love David. Somebody obsessed with David did something like this. They upset with David because they want to get David in trouble. Women do that. Women will do things to men because they are jealous. And then you got the gender-based thing is just came through my head as if if a guy do this that like that David, somebody jealous his relationship with Celeste. When I looked at the build up dirt on the car, look at that. This car haven't been washed in a while. This ain't no toy. This is a real car. David wouldn't have whoever he left that car with authorized to drive his car. Something happened in between there. Because that's a big buildup of dirt on that car. And y'all know when we go out of town, we have to pay somebody to keep the dogs. We have to pay, put them somewhere. We have to put our car up. And David would be nice and authorize somebody else to use that car. Or they stole the car. Stock camper. Minnie. Excuse me, I'm talking to my dog. Hey, Alberta, how you doing, baby? So let's look at that, y'all, because we smart over here. We thinkers. This is so, I'm trying to watch my words because the car is around the corner from the house. Thank you, Albert. See that I think so. I'm just thinking. I'm not even talking to one person. My thoughts. My thoughts. My thoughts that somebody really trying to get David in trouble, but they jealous. Whoever did this jealous. They got to look at that dirt built up.
Well, let's talk about that, because not only did you get your hands on the towing report with all the information it yielded, but you also knocked on some doors and you found some of the neighbors who indeed knew about that car and knew how long it had been there. What did they tell you?
Be quiet, Albert.
I talked to someone that, nobody wanted to be on the record, but they said that they believe they're certain the car was there more than a month. There was somebody else that said that the car had moved around a couple different times, but that's going back as far as May. It had been moving around. And, from those photos actually were embedded with the ticket that was taken. So when they provided the ticket on the 3rd, they give images, in case it goes to court and they can back it up. They're really high-res images. I could really zoom into them. And, that dirt is caked on that car.
Right.
So I think that car got dumped a lot earlier than a lot of us think.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the pictures at the same time you are on screen.
See, he said the same thing I said. That car. Where was this car? Come on. I know it was found on the street, but the thing is, did David cop? They never see. Only thing I don't like when we trying to investigate is they don't tell us everything. Look at the wheel, y'all. Look at the car right here. What is this? Around the wheel. Why is it looking like that? They don't tell us everything. Did David call and report the car? I showed y'all the video yesterday. David said he was going on a tour in August. Did he sell the car? Did he let the person borrow the car? Because they had the car. But where is Celeste? Okay. That's the main thing is Celeste, y'all. Where is she? Why is she not on the trip?
Viewers are seeing it too. One of the things I noticed with the caked on dirt is that you would not have been able to drive it with windshields that caked. It would have been really...
She is right. You can't drive this car like this. Y'all men's know that. Y'all men's know that. And women know that too. You can't drive this car caked up like that. So that car been sitting there for... Can't drive that car no more after this. So when they came to pick it up on the 5th. And he still got on a test. He still got a Texas tag. I'm pretty sure Celeste still in. So this, okay, since you said that, Albert, did this car go back to her area where she lives, and somebody jealous from where she lives is controlling this activity? So that what you saying, see, you just gave me an idea when you said the desert. So did Celeste drive the car? Did he authorize her to drive the car and she went in the desert where she lived out there with all that dirt? And some of her friends, her cousins, her relatives, somebody got jealous and tried to plant this on David because they jealous of her? This gonna turn the whole investigation around. But like you said, that the windshield is a great answer to when the car will actually impound. The car will actually impound on the 8th. But this is the second ticket right here on the 5th. not on the 3rd. So, like you said, and you know, the investigators know this. That's why they gave her their body. They gave the family the body. I heard her brother was involved with keeping her and David relationship a secret. See, that's what I'm saying. It seemed like since we don't got to this car, and you know, since the beginning, evidence is almost like, here, David, this your girl. This your girl. You took her away from me. You took her away from our family. You took her away from, I mean, you know, it's somebody jealous. Before they drop this case, they better, and they seen who, that one thing about this situation is that the police and the investigator know who was had this car because the car is a camera. The car is a camera. Why ain't nobody locked up? Why ain't nobody locked up, y'all? Money make people do them unthinkable things. And I agree with you.
Really hard to drive. So, and I'm just so sad when I see this car parked here because you know that she's in the trunk in this image, and it's so sad. Yeah, it's extraordinary.
She is in that trunk, y'all. They left this girl.
It's a tomb where a girl had been decomposing, you know, day after day after day. But it's interesting you say a month, but then it's also interesting you see the police came back 3 different times and chalked the tires. What's the protocol for them? Why didn't they tow?
See, why did they do the tires like that? Why did the police do the tires like that? I can't understand when the police came out here to this car, like you just said, Albert. Why didn't they look at the windshield? They looked at that windshield and they knew something was going on. They should have known something. But see, didn't nobody call and report this car missing. Nobody recalled to report this car missing. So they need to ask yourself, did David know the car was missing? So typical of the media to paint the most uncomfortable scenes. One can't him. I think it would be dumb if you know you got a body in your car. I think somebody jealous of David and obsessed with David.
What, the first day they were called?
So they're not allowed to tow it unless it's documented that it has not moved in 72 hours. So now when they came out on the 26th, or they got called on the 26th, they came out first on the 27th. That happened to be Labor Day weekend. So, you know, it wasn't until the 3rd until Labor Day was over.
Right, Albert. Right. Right. It's a red flag in this. The lack of reporting is also a huge red flag as far as the car goes. Right, because you're not going to go in a... David is in August, he in another country. But with the thickness of the dirt built up on the car, it's telling me that it been missing. How long this car been missing? But David was here in July. And he was on tour in August. And the only reason why I'm not going to ask him out, like I said, the only reason I'm not going to ask him out because he was dating the girl. But like you said, if she took this car, okay. If she took this car to where she lives, somebody jealous of this girl.
back in time. But by ordinance here in LA County, and I do very familiar with this because I've lived in the area, you know, you have to move within 72 hours. If it's called in as abandoned, it has to also have other factors, such as it appears to be abandoned. If this car was clean, it wouldn't have been towed.
Yeah. The fact that, you know, the first call.
And why did they leave the car? You see what kind of game they playing, y'all, with David. That's why I say I believe somebody is obsessed with her, because with him, it's because they are playing game with moving the car up and down where he lives. But wasn't she always with him on tour? She wasn't on that. That wasn't her. That wasn't her on up there in the stand. The News Nation found out it wasn't. Now TMZ found out that it wasn't Les on the tour with him. If she was driving the car, then yeah, it's her brother. Or she got haters like you saying. For them to bring that car, to put that car back around that man, it's raising eyebrows to me. Is it gang involvement around where she lives? Yeah, what you say? What you say? I think a game is it a game? Is it do she hang with gangsters? Do she hang around? I don't know what kind of girl and who she hang with. Did she drive that car to her area and they gonna put it on? It seemed like a family member, a cousin, or somebody blaming David, because if she took that car back home, and she had no became missing, and then she didn't tell her mama that she was missing, they were looking for her in March, and she decided to take that car home in June or July. Y'all, we are just vigilant. We just thinking. If she'd have taken it back out there to the desert with all that dirt, I'm looking at the dirt. When I go to Florida, my car look like this when I come back. It be dirty sometimes, because if I don't take it to the car wash. So did she go home? If she went home, and you know you've been missing, your mama been looking for you in March, you got to go back to, where would David car, why didn't David report the car missing? The car could have came missing. He went on tour early part of, look, y'all, look. David wasn't at home, y'all. We got to look at this. David wasn't at home in August. See, this is the 25th calendar. I already took down the 24th calendar, y'all. Y'all, we already went through that. If David wasn't at home, y'all, in August, he was on tour. It's saying that somebody got hold to this girl. Somebody got hold to this girl. Don't travel to her hometown. Did David leave her to go stay with her mama when she went missing in March? They report her missing in March. She decided to go home in that car. Somebody upset with this girl took her back to David and let her know, hey man, we did this too, but we're going to plan it on you to make it look like you did it, since you caused this problem in our family. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying, because the reason why I'm just thinking, I'm just thinking it could have happened out there where she stayed, got too much dust on the car. I believe, right here. See, take a Tesla out there where Celeste lives. Take a Tesla. They ain't used to seeing no Tesla out there. It's dirt. So they took David's story and did this girl like this. This girl, somebody spent time, did upset with this girl. Somebody upset with her. Somebody mad at this baby. Oh, wow. Somebody mad at this baby. And they don't know nothing about no Tesla. If they know anything about a Tesla, they wouldn't have never what? Did this to her. So that camera caught the person who did this. They may be in police custody. That's why they didn't lock David up yet. I don't know yet, y'all. I don't know.
Came in, and 8 days later, it was towed. Each time they came out and established the 72-hour rule and had those three that they have to have. Did the neighbors that you talked to say anything else about other than, yeah, it's been here for about a month? Did anybody say it smelled? Some moms want to.
See, I'm like her. Somebody had to say they smelled something.
All the time. And that's exactly
even the tow truck driver should have smelled something.
Not that I talked to. I know that I've seen somebody that, but not that I talked to. However, the street that it's on, and I don't know if this was done on purpose or not, but the street, Bluebird, it's just this little street with about 6 houses on it. It kind of makes a semicircle that wraps from one end of Doheny and meets back up to Doheny. So it's not a super traveled street. Now, Doheny is, so you drive by it. But where it was, it's kind of like a strategic area where there's only, see that road right there wraps around.
But
right?
if David authorized, I'm just saying, if he authorized somebody to use that car, where are that person? Why they not telling, this is something, y'all, this is dark. This is dark, and they don't want to put it out there. Why they don't want us to know what happened? Because they trying to protect the family. Maybe her family gave her a choice to tell David, put up the car. She would pay. Well, I don't know. I don't think so. But what I was saying was, if he authorized someone to drive the car, where is that person? Why are all cases you can't expose people? Because you're putting their life in danger. So that's just one thing we got to be careful about. And I'm glad they being careful in this case. Because this is your evidence. Why aren't they talking to? They don't need to talk to the people out here. Because we don't know what direction would they go. We don't know. It's crazy how we got all the evidence sitting in our face with the camera. And they're not giving us no information. I'm just, they're not telling us nothing, but they don't have to.
It connects again to the main road, so there's not too many people that will walk by. And these hedges on this house.
Now that sounds, Albert, what you just said. And the only thing we doing is discussing, y'all. They wanted money from David, but she would not betray him because she was a sponge in love. You think so? That's something to look at.
So high that it really takes out people walking on the other side of the vehicle. So I don't know if it was actually done strategically, but if you're going to leave it somewhere else, it's as good a place to leave it as any.
I think that she got set up. I think. But if look, y'all, David was in this car. I just showed a video yesterday. If this happened, all of this going on like this, David knows something, allegedly knows something. The reason why I say that is this stuff is going on in August. He on a tour in August. When did he leave go on tour? The tour started in August. When did he leave to go on tour? Did he go on tour in June? Did he leave to go in July? Because if he left to go in July, where was Celeste? Celeste is a minor. She shouldn't be left at that house. I think if David left her at that house, she took that car out there to her where she lives. And where she lives, it's like you said, it's not safe. I believe she drove that car out there, but we should have on civilian cameras of a person walking away. We should have something where a person is. They did all of this when they was down there where she lives. They mutilated her down there where she lives, and brought her back over there where David stayed to let you know that this what you get from. I hope they blame you for doing this to her. It could be somebody with his team. It could be somebody with his team. But if her mama reported her missing in March, she decided to go home. She went home at the wrong time. Now her mama mad. Now her family mad. Now, okay. Now I'm about to go back to David's team. Somebody in David's team David's team is jealous of his money. We don't know who he authorized this car to. Where is the person? Why are they not on the news? We ain't got no kind of news report. They're not even investigating this. Well, they're investigating the case, but this Tesla is something that they're not even putting in the news to talk about. It could be somebody on David's team. Whoever this is trying to throw us off on the case. But they're not going to throw me off with this Tesla.
Well, the curious thing is, listen, and this is a sort of a weird topic, but I have a septic field and a septic system, and I've grown up that way, and I know that when the winds shift, it doesn't matter what kind of hedge is nearby. It doesn't matter if it's 30 feet away. You can smell those odors, and I'm just wondering if anybody on the other side of the hedge or across the street, or within, say, 50 feet of where that car was parked, had noticed that smell and wondered what it was. Because I believe the only report we had about that car was that somebody thought a dead animal was nearby.
Yeah, and I'll bet you now, in hindsight, they might, but I think that, without this happening, you walk by a car, it's the last thing you think is that somebody's in the trunk, deceased. And so you probably chalk it up to a bunch of other things, like set a sewer line, bro. I mean, it's LA, stuff like this happens a lot. I'm talking about like sewer lines and whatnot. And there's a lot of construction going on in that area all the time. So you could chalk it up to, they hit a line or something like that. I mean, really.
Okay, Albert, it was nice having you.
Body in a trunk, Now, of course, now that we know that happened, it's easier to think that way. But,
Oh yeah, hindsight's 2020,
Yeah,
But I'm going to ask you about the damage on this car, because you've got a lot of insight into something we haven't all noticed in the video. But before I do that, I want to ask you about this location. I thought it was blocks and blocks away from David's house. It isn't.
No.
Listen, y'all, listen to this. See, she thought like I did. I thought the car was blocks and blocks from David's house. But look at what this cold killer did to her. By that, Albert. Hey, Chelsman, if I pronounce it wrong, I'm sorry.
No, I'd say it's probably 150 feet to Doheny Place, which he's on, from the rear of from the trunk of that vehicle, because he's the first spot. They're parked on the first spot.
It was 150 feet from David's house. They putting the blame on David, y'all. The person who did it is putting the blame on David. She had to take that car. Celeste had to take that car to allegedly taking that car out there in the desert. Because look at the buildup of the dirt. Something happened when that young lady was out there. It's caught on camera. Because they don't know nothing about a Tesla caught everything that they was doing. Look at this. They can really talk that. Oh, man. They set David up. Allegedly. But David, I still got to blame you because you took her. You took her. You took her. You know she was missing, David. You got to know she was missing.
It's very weekend, I could see somebody parking there because there wasn't street parking on his street because his street's very small.
A friend of mine showed me this new system that lets you pick up real estate deals for pennies on the dollar. I'm talking $200,000 properties.
Like, it's one street over from where his house actually is?
Half a block. Because
a half a block from David's house, y'all. This is a half a block from David's house. They didn't want them to see that car. Somebody, come on, investigator, can y'all give us some kind of clue? Y'all had to see what's going on because the car, whoever did this to her, not even smart with a Tesla car. They like me, I didn't know what a Tesla car was. I had to look this up. It's a camera all over that car and they don't even know it. Did they check the fingerprint? We haven't heard no kind of investigation with this car. They trying to make us figure things out. They already know what happened.
His street is really kind of like almost like an alleyway. It's not an alley, but it's really a half of a regular block. Just the way the neighborhood's split up, it's very close. You can throw a rock at it.
What? You can throw a rock from his house and hit his car? They jealous of this girl. Oh, you've been running away this time, or we've been looking for you, and you just gonna pull up in some kind of car. They don't even know it's a Tesla. Good morning, Blue. They don't even know it's a Tesla. You pull up, you been gone. We put out that I believe she went home, y'all. I believe she went home and they brought her back. But if she went home, they do not know where David stayed. So I'm not going to say her family did this. I had to think, y'all, we got to think about a lot. If she took this car out to her family house, they don't know where David lives. Unless the brother or the sister or the cousin or somebody is affiliated with David. Know where he lives. But why would they do this to David? Why would they do this to Celeste? So Chad, there's a lot of questions around this situation right here. Just think about it, y'all. If she took the car to the desert and brought it back here, did she show the people where David stayed? Did she take them in his house? Or did somebody on her team ride with her out to what? Somebody jealous, obsessed with David. And set him up with the lineup that he had on the stage and made his dream on the stage come alive. These folks doing some spiritual mess and this stuff. You know, honey. Y'all young folks be doing too much for me.
It almost makes you wonder if the smell might have even reached the front door of that mansion. Let me ask you about the damage. I didn't notice damage in the towing and in the drone videos, but what did you know about?
Well, I didn't really know until I saw these photos. And this car, this is a 2023 Model X, you paid $104,000 for this. I've seen the invoice, and it's just beat up. I don't know what they've done to this car. But,
I don't know what they've done to this car either. This 2023, I showed y'all at the beginning of the video. This is a beautiful car. This is a nice electric car. Where's that dirt come from? Did somebody she know from David's group ride with her out there who was jealous of her? They caught in some dirt. Something strange is going on. If he lived in the neighborhood, why would someone say the car is abandoned? Because the towing, we spoke on the towing when it was towed and stuff. But when David was here, David was riding around in his car. So this happened when he was on tour. Who did they leave in? David got to tell them everything. Whatever David told them, I believe that somebody arrested, y'all. I believe somebody got arrested. I really do.
side fenders on the other side are off. There's a huge dent in the rear. The guy parking there also noticed front right damage. So I don't know what happened to this car, because I've seen, like, for instance, I found a Google Maps image where it happened to be parked in front of the house, right, the street view, and it does not look damaged there. So I don't know when this happened or how it happened, but it almost looks like it's been off road.
Originally, we all thought it was a Model Y until this video showed the door handles. And the door handles apparently are the giveaway for the Model X, because they're angel wing doors. They go up instead of out. And so...
Okay, so they angel wings, so they let up. This is weird. This is so... Oh my gosh.
The reports are all changing. I mean, every official report that we saw was a Model Y. It looks very much like a Tesla I have, which is a Model Y, but apparently it is this Model X. And I can tell you one thing, my Tesla was not 104,000, so this is a really souped up version. Mine was like a fifth of that, honest to God. I can't believe that car was that expensive.
Yeah, the X has got a larger front too. It's 6.6.
See, just like you said, Blue, there are pieces of evidence. Pieces, and that's what the investigators doing. They are going to change ways of putting in this they are protecting somebody, y'all. Somebody's talking, somebody telling, and they telling it all. Even the person who did this, because a person had to do this because a person did this to her. This person told this camera don't collect all these folk, and they talking. They talking, y'all. They telling that they got to protect the people that David is hanging around. Somebody around him talking. Sheesh. Whew, Lord, how much?
Feet as opposed to 4.2 like Model Y, so kind of explains how she might have fit in there as well.
Well, that's
I want to. I have to. How long have David been living in? Living out there? How long he been living out there? He still have a Texas tag. Usually, you have to change your tag if you stays in another state. They give you a time to get your tag changed if you plan on staying there. And that change that tag is bothering me because it still say Texas.
Very sad fact that I'll end on. Gosh, I thank you, Steve.
Yeah, let me put it back on the. This is my piece of evidence. This Tesla.
Well, that's a very sad fact that I'll end on.
A girl is in his trunk. Y'all, tell me what y'all think in the comment section when you get a chance. Look at this car tore up, right? Something happened right in here. Look. Let me see before I leave. I want to look at some of this here. I want to go right here. 22. I made that video, David, saying he was going to go on tour. David is gone this whole month. David, you playing some games. Because first of all, when did your Tesla became missing? Was it mess? Now, I'm not going to exclude David out of it because he took that girl from her mama. She ain't had no business. No, she need to be at home anyway. But I'm saying though, but I'm not gonna say he did. He did her body like that. I'm not gonna say that. But I think that it's a group of people jealous, evil spirit people did this to her. And I hope this baby did not take her car to the desert where she lived, in the area where she lived, with some people. Or either allegedly David team took her to her hometown. Somebody took that girl to her hometown. I don't even know if she can drive. Because usually kids get their driver license at 15. They can take a test. They can get their learner license. I don't believe she had no learner license. And why is David Tad still saying Texas? There's so many questions in here because it's so the money. It's just too much going on. Y'all do too much for me. Well, y'all like, share, and subscribe, and tell me what you think, okay? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Get your subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. I love y'all. I'm out.